Hello, everybody. So today we're going to do our town hall meeting. We're going to be talking about our Kickstarter campaign. We're going to introduce some of the family members, and we have our wives here today. We have Sarah and Melissa, and they're sitting next to us appropriately. So Melissa's my wife, Sarah's Kyle's wife. So let's go ahead and run the commercial, and then we'll get back at it.
Yep, on the commercial.
Ian, commercial.
Commercial.
Okay, so we are back. So let's start off with introducing the families, and then we'll talk about our Kickstarter campaigns and everything. So let's go oldest to youngest. That should be the easiest way to go.
Absolutely.
With the kids, not the adults, because I already introduced the adults. So those of you who have been following us for a while know Corbin. He's sitting in the seat many times. So Corbin, why don't you come in, say hi real quick.
Where do I stand?
Well,
Just squat right in here.
just look in the, just right in front of me. It's fine.
Yeah.
So this is Corbin.
Hi.
Hey.
He's the oldest of the kids, and he's my son. And so there's Corbin. You guys all know him. So, and then our second is gonna be Taylor.
Yeah,
No,
just
you can.
squat down.
We're
you
not
want-
gonna have everybody fit in the camera.
Yeah, not
Okay.
everybody's gonna fit in the camera.
Just kidding
So
then.
let's have Taylor. For those of you who've been watching, you also know Taylor.
Yes, okay. Yeah, this is my oldest. It's mine and Sarah's. It's Taylor. She's awesome. I appreciate the heck out of her. Heck yeah, you've seen her hosting up. She's crushing it. All right.
All right, so number 3 in the lineup is Ian,
The man
in the chair. So Ian has been on one of the podcasts now, but he has been running the behind the screens with
I borrowed
everything.
his hoodie.
Bar-
He's very kind.
So he's my second oldest. Yeah, so you guys know him. All right, now we're introducing the kids that nobody knows yet.
Hey, the surprise
So
kids.
my youngest is Sophie. This is my only daughter and youngest child. And yeah. So this is her. And then next we have,
Miss Kinley. This is our middle kiddo. Yep, she's our little husky dragon here. It's great. She just makes me laugh because she does the whole husky behavior. It's awesome. And she gives me the glares. And yeah, it's her birthday today.
Tomorrow.
My bad.
Tomorrow.
I had it bad. It's tomorrow.
we're going to say
I
happy
lost my
birthday
days.
anyway.
Happy birthday, dude. Yeah, for tomorrow.
Preemptive.
Preemptive. Okay.
And then last but not least,
We have
the
little Miss
youngest of
Freya.
the crew.
Come here, cutie patootie. You can do it. Hello?
Come here.
Go stand between Jeff and Melissa.
And then just turn
Turn
around
around.
and say,
Look at Ian and say,
And say hi.
Yeah, great
Awesome.
job. This is Freya. She is the youngest. And yeah, she has a lot of fun being a little bossy booty and punching me. All right, sweet girl, you're good to go.
All right. Thanks,
you, guys.
everybody.
Thanks, guys.
So that is our families. So
Yeah.
we have been. So Savarion was born while Ian was still in the womb. So this game is as old as he is. Okay, so we are live on Kickstarter. And
Hey!
long time coming.
Me too, probably.
So, yeah.
Ecstatic.
Oh,
Yes.
excitement.
Just a little bit. I'm trying really hard not to bounce off the walls right now. Like, I think this is no caffeine either. Like, I haven't had a drop of caffeine yet today.
I had some coffee.
Look at you. And I'm like, I'm gonna explode like a rocket ship. Come, just gone. Yes.
All right.
Oh,
Anyway.
So yeah.
So we have tried Kickstarter. This will
Once.
be our second
Second,
attempt at Kickstarter. The first one did not go well,
We were definitely not ready yet.
but we were not ready.
We didn't have the John flavor to make it look all pretty. We didn't have, like, we were just really excited. We were almost I think you guys were close to getting out. I was all the way out, and we were just like, let's go! And we got crazy with it.
Yeah.
So yeah,
sure.
This time we took our time. We were patient. We were functional. We were not emotional.
Not
Well,
enough.
the game also took on some different adjustments too to make it even better.
Absolutely.
So like we have a much better product we're putting out, a better story. It's going to be amazing.
Yes.
It's already amazing.
Yes, and you were not 8.5 hours apart.
That's
So
fair.
it's easy
That's
to
true.
work on.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Oh man, we did that. Yeah, we built this game across the entire country. Yeah, it started off while we were walking through like Afghanistan, and then it adapted and changed while he was in Washington and I was in Maryland. And I worked night shift, so we had like a 2-hour window to have
We
a
could talk.
conversation. Or
was
we did
wild.
we did a lot of email then too. I remember I'd get an
Yep.
email report on how the rules needed to change, and I'd just be like, "All right, let's go." And I'm like, yeah, it's a good time.
We talked about that last time, how the rules have changed and all that kind of stuff. So, what specifically should we cover today?
Oh man, we definitely did a lot more digging into Kickstarter as far as like the how to make a successful campaign,
Oh, yeah.
and we decided we were going to embrace social media. That's been huge. So we've been doing a lot with Ethan, who's our social media guy. He's been doing great helping us get the word out there. All the posts that come up. Yeah, that's his handiwork. He does a great job. Oh.
So,
And yeah, we've been pushing that hard, I think, to get more attention towards the Kickstarter so people knew it was coming and we didn't just be like, drop it. Yeah, it's going to fund itself. Let's go.
I think a big part too is figuring out what to share ahead of time and what to reserve so that there's like excitement when you open the box and experience it for the first time. And so that was a big part of figuring out Kickstarter and all the posting and all that. So yeah.
yeah. Definitely not our forte. We needed some help with that. So,
I mean, like, our social media pages, we were told, looks like what you'd expect 40-year-olds to post on social media, and that's not going to draw attention. So we were like, oh, okie dokie, let's fix this.
listen.
I hear you, but I don't like it.
But I don't like it.
It may be true. Still hurts. And then we've had a lot of fun. Like, the wives have been very helpful in a lot of ways. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal and supportive, and appreciate the heck out of you guys.
Yes, very much so.
I think it's really fun to watch you guys create together because you just get so excited about everything.
Me? Excited? No. I don't get loud. I don't get crazy.
No, never.
Reserved.
So, I was told that we get to introduce the game. And so I think maybe, because there's not a whole lot we can say about Kickstarter, so anybody who watches this before it starts getting released will know more about how to play the game than anybody else will,
Get some insight.
unless they have played the game, right? So,
Well, and how many people helped test play the game so far?
so I think we've had somewhere between 150 and 200
Yeah.
people test the game.
Yeah.
So, and it has had a very, very good response to like enjoyability, playability, replayability, all of those things.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, it's between 150 and 200 people have played the game. So,
Cool.
I mean, it's not a big pool, but it's not a small pool. It's not just like we
Right.
played it and we liked it.
right, the four of us liked it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Very cool.
So I guess because we've kind of kept a little bit of secrets here because we wanted to
Yeah.
make sure that they were held on to before the launch was started, and so
Yeah.
we
but now that we're here,
can talk about it. we can talk about why we think this is going to change the way people play board games and think about
I think we should end with that.
You want to end with
The
it?
RTCS.
Yeah.
Okay, we're going to end with it. We're going to leave you guys on a different note.
So, okay, so when you sit down to play the game, the first thing you do is every person gets a piece of the map, right? So there's 9 map pieces, and it's not like every person who chooses the elf gets this map. You just randomly choose a map piece, and then you get a piece that sits on the map at the crossroads where your city goes. And so if you are an elf, I keep saying that because I'm looking at my wife.
That's my
I want you to
favorite.
know that Yalik was inspired by Melissa. That's where we got that inspiration. So let's say, okay, I'm going to pick one of the 9 races, and I choose elf. And so I'm going to get Zedge, the home piece, and then a random piece of the board and put it on. And I'm put Zedge in the crossroads, and then build my characters from there. But then everybody else is going to take their board, and they're going to match it up so that the board builds
road.
itself.
Yeah, the roads line up, so you got to make sure that when you're putting your piece down, you got to have the road connected to the other road, and that's going to how, they all come together nicely.
Yes. So, and then every race gets their own specific power. And then, which part do you feel comfortable explaining?
Oh,
I want you to
geez.
talk about part of it, but
Well, I guess maybe I'll just talk. The next part, you would pick out your 10 characters to build your team, and you have a hero, or your leader, I guess is what you call it, right? Yeah. Sorry, we've gone through lots of name changes over the years too, so finding the right ones. The leader has special abilities that you get to choose, and then you choose your other 9 play pieces, and they can be a whole bunch of different. What's the word?
classes.
Thank you. So you can have archers, and you can have brawlers, and you can have crushers and assassins, and there's a whole bunch. And so it's fun because you get to change up your team every time and try different strategies every time. And then they get their own abilities as well. So there's a lot of just individuality in building your team. So that's really cool.
So I just want to say this real quick, not because I'm correcting you, but because I don't want somebody looking for an assassin.
Oh,
We
is that one an
renamed
old
it
one?
the Swift
Sorry.
Striker.
Yep, it used to be the assassin.
It's the same play as the assassin and Swift Striker. Like, we didn't change how they played,
Just the name.
just the name of
Okay.
it.
Sorry.
So no, it's still fine. So, and then
What you want to tackle, Sarah?
Well,
Okay. I mean, we do have some I don't know aspects in there. Like,
do you know how you
want
advance your you guys?
the different talents?
don't remember. I
Okay.
will say that the first time that you guys asked me to read the rules, I actually understood how to play the game, and I usually have to be told, like, this is what the rules mean.
Heck yeah.
So it's pretty cool that it's a little bit easier to understand than most games.
I like that.
That's huge. Huge. Gotta stop doing that. Don't do that, Kyle.
Don't do that. Okay, so you build the character.
All right. So I've got my strategy in mind, and then I've got my race, and then you got your elves. So I'm gonna go with my goblins. All right. So I'm gonna be sitting there and playing more of a defensive game in my brain because I gotta wait for the weather to come out just right. It's gotta just be that blizzard. And so I'm gonna be looking at putting out some guardians to protect my people and a couple of healers to keep my people alive. And then so I'll be looking at that like, okay, my guardians, I need them to be more defensive. So I'm gonna pump points into their armor and their health, and that's my guardian's purpose because I don't need them out there smacking people. That's worthless. They have one job. And then the healers, I want them to have more power but more speed because I need them to be able to get around the board and escape faster. So I'll be running points into those, and since each of my individual units get 10 talent points, I can be like, all right, I'm going to dump 5 points into my armor, 5 points into my speed, and watch them go, Noom, can't touch me.
Can't touch this.
And that's, yeah, like we have the 4 different categories because you have your magic power, your physical power, your armor, and your speed. And those are the things that you can customize about each individual unit, which gives you the ability to get surgical. And your health. I forgot your health.
Your health. So power.
So power's just universal.
It's not
My
magical
bad.
power and melee power.
You're right.
It's just
It's
power.
just power.
So, and we ended up using power instead of damage because you can increase the priest's power as well, and that one has like healing. So
So it's
you
not-
heal your
yeah.
guys, but I want instead of 30 healing, it does 40. So we did it power, so it's universal.
You're right.
across the
That's
board.
where it was like this. Health,
So,
your power, your speed, and your armor. That's
Yes.
what it is. Yep. And yeah, so you crank up that power, make them hit harder, and then you just watch, like, just support them from a distance if you need to. It's there's different ways to play different strategies, but again, like the goblins, it's more of a I can be opportunistic, but I'd have to wait. I have to wait for the right weather so I can dominate and just hope it holds.
right.
Because I'll be honest, I've played several times. Doesn't sound like it, and I have never had never had the blizzard come in. Never. Not
Which is
once.
funny because I've seen the blizzard a bunch of times.
When I'm playing the
And I'm
goblins,
always like, oh, where's Kyle with the goblins right now?
so it's just not my luck. However, that's a great play to play, a great strategy, and then that's just the customization aspect of it, like Melissa was talking about, and Sarah. Oh man, yeah. And then you get to pick your leader ability.
There's 3 of those abilities.
Yes, there are.
So, so there's 13 classes you can choose from.
That's fair.
And
We have-
do we want to go through all of those?
No, because we have videos that are going to be showcasing those 13 classes. We just
Right.
shot them yesterday. That's a little bit
Yeah,
slow
you're right. We
release.
did.
You
So
know?
go check out Instagram. Those will come out as they go.
And you can start building your strategy. Pick your race
So,
and
yeah.
start building your army in your head.
So, do you remember the leader abilities?
No, I don't.
We-
Sorry.
Okay, so we have. Ian has a question.
Oh, no, I remember what they are.
Oh,
You want to come say them?
yeah. Come on up here, bro.
Here,
We can edit this one over. This one's easy.
that one makes sense.
Come on over. Grab the mic.
You got to be in the picture though.
In the picture.
No, just sit in
Just
front.
right here.
Right there works.
There you go.
There you go.
We're doing things weird today. Let's
Yeah,
go
we're just-
logistics.
So, one of the abilities they can have allows all of your characters to get a +1 to their...
Tell them. I know.
They get a +1 to all of their rolls. There is one that allows you to essentially take damage and then deal it back. And then there's a third ability that allows a character to do a second round of movement, right?
No, whole thing.
So,
they take a
yeah.
Second
whole action.
round,
Yep.
second turn.
Second, like one of your units gets to play twice, basically.
Those are the leader abilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you get to
Right.
choose one of those.
And your leader gets 15 talents.
Your 15 talents to put into the armor, power, health, and speed things. So
Yeah. So it depends on what you need. I've played with my healer, my hero as a healer, which isn't bad. It makes them more durable, but then they're kind of worthless if everybody else dies. And they're like, oh no, just run away.
Play tag.
Pretty much. Can't catch me. Bling.
Oh, if you have any questions, feel
Oh,
free to ask.
please,
I
yes,
don't know
absolutely.
who's on and watching right now, but
Yeah.
if you're live watching us, feel free to ask questions.
Yeah, definitely.
So
And then, yeah, I mean, we also have terrain to worry about, unless you play human. So if you don't want to think real hard, human's a great option, which is really funny because humans are our thinker people.
Yeah.
They're our wisdom boys.
their wisdom.
So to picking them is like they do the hard part for you. The terrain navigation is not a thing.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, you got to fight your terrain as well.
You're basically battling everything.
Everything.
Because then, like, we start on a clear summer day.
Yep.
Every game starts on a clear summer day, and then you turn over every round that's over.
An
You
event.
turn over an event card, and then you have to battle the events. And so with that, we wanted you to battle the other players, the terrain, and the weather as it happened. And so the game itself is actually fighting against you at the same time that other people are fighting against you. And it kind of created a little more life to the game so that it's not just like that I'm rolling dice against you and you're rolling dice against me and yada, yada, yada. And we did that initially, and then we started adapting the game to develop more, like, there's more against you. And then we decided that, like, a long time ago, I don't remember exactly when, but a long time ago, we decided that Savarion was going to be against you.
Yep, it's a vicious world.
It's a vicious world, and it's always against you. So if you're attacking, you roll a d10, and if you're defending, with the exception of the Guardian, if you're defending, you roll a d12. So you're always at a disadvantage if you're defending. And
You're attacking roll a d20, not a d10.
Did I say d10?
Yeah.
I meant d20.
I had to think. I'm like, wait a minute.
It's like, because that wasn't disadvantage with.
No. It's always advantage to the attacker, and then whoever, like, once you're fighting, if I take your last piece, not whoever takes the most, but whoever takes the last, gets your racial ability. So the goblins are unaffected by weather events. Elves are faster, right? So if I take out Kyle's last dude, let's say Sarah and Melissa were whittling him down, and I just went in and took just the last guy, I would get his goblin power, right?
So now you have a fast elf that's not affected by weather.
Right,
Exactly.
and two other players who were pissed off from all the work that they did, right?
Teamwork.
So then they tear me down, and let's say Sarah gets the last one of mine, she would get both of mine.
Yep. Both the
So she would
goblin and
get the speed
elf.
and the goblin, and
Yep.
if she was halfling, the move before and after attacking. So
There's strategy on who you
And then
attack
there's
first.
not a whole lot of hope for me. No.
not a lot.
A lot of strategy needed to try and to fight you. But yeah.
So yeah, it gets harder and harder as it goes.
But you rewarded my more aggression. But I think when we first played the test, like we did the final, like, these are the rules, come out, play, and just build your character. And Jeff didn't say anything, and he just kind of stopped at the wayside and was supposed to watch. I think he had to play actually.
No, the first
No.
time.
No, like when we had the finalized rules and the one that kind of told the story, which is where they.
Oh no, I did not play that
That's
one.
right. Okay, so I was right there.
I didn't. I
The
didn't
idea was-
interfere in any way.
Watching
just-
them interpret the rules and resolve it themselves, and it played beautifully.
It did. There were a couple of things where it was like, hey, can we, FAQ question this, and I had to answer. And so that, like, the rules have been through that fine combing, and we've actually had 5 play tests through where I just observed and was like, okay, I need to adjust this rule, I need to adjust this rule, so we could have something that, like Sarah said, was easy to understand, and it plays the way you want it to play. So
The game's complex enough as it is. The last thing I want you to do is get there and have to consult the rule book every single turn, because then it slows down. Because this game is too fast paced. You cannot just sit there and be contending rules
right.
unless you really want to screw somebody else over. Because that's the thing.
I was just gonna say I like the fact that you can have up to 9 players. We're a big family of friends, and so to be able to play it almost as a full family is really fun too. But you can do it with just a couple players too, and it just changes the dynamic. So there's just a lot of playability for that. So
Yeah. It's not a solo game though. I mean, I don't think you'd have a lot of fun playing by yourself.
Yeah, we've never
No, that was not a
trialed
thing.
it as a solo, and 2 is not quite as good either.
2 is different. 2 is hectic. Is a better way to put
Yeah.
it.
Well, 3 is hectic.
3 is really
3 is when it gets hectic.
I mean, okay, let's be honest. I'd say it's pretty hectic the whole time.
It is hectic.
The idea was to simulate as much combat as possible.
Right.
That feel of, holy crap, this is a lot. Yeah.
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 you're trying to scare people off?
No.
Oh, okay. Just
No.
saying.
Just gotta keep engaged. So, all right. So let's jump into it. The RTCSS.
You want to jump to RTCSS?
Do we need any more?
You know
Sarah,
what?
Melissa, do you have anything else to say before we jump into what we think will make this game different from all the others?
Do you remember how the RTCSS works? You do? No? Yes? No?
Vaguely?
That's fair. It's been a minute.
I don't know the full details.
Okay. So what is, I guess, best way I can ask this, what does the RTCSS include? Like, how do we get it to...
Wait, what's the acronym and what does it mean? Because
Real-time combat strategy system.
Okay, it was the C that was throwing me off.
Oh, combat.
So I know that depending on how many players you're in groups, and there's always one person in each group actively taking their turn. So the turns are simultaneous, which is crazy.
Yeah, because you can be attacking and being attacked.
Yes.
That was probably not great grammar, but that's okay. Yeah. So
Part of the fun of
The-
life.
right.
Well, like we were saying, like now the game is like we wanted it to be war strategy. We wanted the game to be against you, and now with the RTCSS, which took us a long time to develop, so that the rules
it did.
actually worked. But with it, it turns it from your linear style of gameplay, which most games that you play are linear. And so when we sit down, let's say we sit down to play a standard game. I don't want to name drop
yeah.
any game because I love all of the games. So I'm not
Absolutely.
saying anything negative. But let's say we sit down to play a game. I take my turn. Melissa takes her turn. Kyle takes his turn. Sarah takes her turn. And then it's my turn again. An hour and a half later.
My bad.
Right.
My bad.
Because somebody takes way too long on their turn, right?
Yeah.
And so we thought, okay, but that doesn't feel like war. You know, you need to have an engagement. So that's where this came from.
Well, and the first time we tested it that way, we played for almost 18 hours and didn't even make it through full campaign.
That's right.
And so we're like, we got to figure something out.
Something's got to
Because you had
change.
9 players at the board, and it was one at a time.
Yeah. And everybody's taking 10 minutes to take their turn.
Because you have 10 pieces to maneuver with 4 activations.
Well, you have 5.
5 activations.
Five,
yeah. 10
five of your
pieces
10 pieces get
to manage 5
Yeah.
activations around, and it can take a minute. Plus, then you got to resolve combat because combat has to resolve before you can move on. That's necessary.
Right.
So you can't just be like, I'm attacking you and you and you and you and you.
And the way you strategize is you wait until, like, you kind of have an idea of in your head what I'm going to do next and all that kind of stuff. But when it's your turn, you have to, like, okay, what did the last player do and how do I go with that,
Yep.
right? And so
You can also
just
make
doesn't feel like-
underhanded negotiations. I remember that someone made a deal with somebody else to take their turn really slowly so that they could go and attack one of the members in their group and not let them respond fast.
Yep.
Yeah, you can play some dirty
Yeah.
underhanded tactics.
Yeah, so that's how we do it, the real-time combat strategy system.
Sorry. Yeah.
No, it's all right. So it's finally out there. It's weird because it's been like 16 years. Not 16 years because the
14.
RTCSS.
Just a lot of years,
was a couple
though.
years. It's been a long time that we've held it because we didn't want to release it. So it's like weird for me to talk about it
Openly and
openly
excitedly.
on YouTube. People anybody could see it and see our rules and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So this is how it works, right? So we would roll dice, and you basically group up in groups of 2 and 3, with 2 being the ideal number, right? And never having 1. Okay, so as people get knocked out and a group of 2 becomes a group of 1, they would get incorporated into another group, so on and so forth. But for the sake of argument, let's say we decided guys and girls were the groups. So Kyle and I are in a group, not a team, a group. And Melissa and Sarah are in a group, not a team. We would roll to see which one of us goes first, and they would see which one of them goes first. Okay? And so for the sake of argument, let's say the Davises go first and the Leapers go second. Okay, so we have these flags, and they all stand up, and they're all color coordinated with the
Racial
symbol of
symbol.
your race and everything on the flag. Everybody's flag is stood up. Okay, we start the round. Everybody puts their flag down. Okay, every first person in each group takes their turn. Right. So Sarah and Kyle are going to start taking their turn when everybody's flag goes down. Okay, when somebody's flag goes up, whoever's next in line in that turn order will take their turn. So let's say Sarah finishes her turn first. She puts her flag up. Now Melissa gets to start taking her turn. Kyle is still in the midst of taking his turn. He's not done yet. And Melissa gets to start. So let's say Sarah and Kyle were going at each other, because they're both active. And so this takes a little bit of time. But Sarah was a little more on it with who's going, so she goes, and then now Melissa's in play. Now she can start attacking Kyle, or she can attack me, or she can attack Sarah.
Yep.
Right? She can do any of those things, but she'll start taking her turn while Kyle's still trying to solve his turn. Okay. Now I'm back here waiting for Melissa to finish her turn, and I'm like, all right, finish it already. And so she finishes her turn, and then I get to activate my 5
You
guys.
don't go after me. You would wait for Kyle to
Sorry,
finish.
Kyle.
So I can
Kyle
sit there
finishes
and
his turn.
stall with my one guy for as
Right.
long as I want to.
Which sometimes is good and sometimes is bad. I've seen
Yeah.
it played like somebody taking a long time in their turn, because then I'm the last player to go and everybody else has resolved their turns, and I kind of just get free reign of the board.
Yep.
Which
Or
is really good if you're trying to knock someone out.
right.
You
So
can watch all the damage come through and be like,
Yeah.
I'm going to steal this now.
Exactly. But you can derail people's activities and stuff like that. And so then I would take my turn, and then all the flags are up. We take an event card, turn it over. Oh, it's springtime. So everybody gets a +1 roll to their defense. And
Except for your goblin.
except the goblins, because they're unaffected. Everybody puts their flags down. And
start again.
We start again.
And now it's time for the goblins to run away.
Exactly. And so that's how the real-time combat strategy system works. And what it effectively did is it went from like
Is it my
the
turn
nine people playing the game, right? And you have 2 people rolling the dice and 7 people going,
Yep.
is it my turn yet?
Exactly.
Right? It turned the game into 4 or 5 of the players are standing up, waiting for their turn, walking around the board, watching things that are happening.
Come on, bro.
Right? And they're like, oh, I need to do this. And they're like, oh, no. And, and then they're like, it's my turn. I'm attacking you and all this kind of stuff. And we have specific rules on like how to resolve combat. There can only be one pending engagement, right?
You
So
can't stack multiple
Sarah
attacks
is
on
attacking
this.
Kyle. Melissa could say, when that resolves, I'm doing that. But then Kyle couldn't be like, okay, when that resolves. He has to wait until Melissa starts to be like, okay, when Melissa resolves, I'm doing this.
You can't build on the stack. You have to get the stack clear before you act.
Because when you have 4 groups going, you could have like a bunch of people like waiting to go. So you resolve it that way. But you definitely have, like if Sarah's attacking me and Kyle's attacking Melissa, all 4 of us are playing at the same time. And that happens a lot. And so some people are waiting, some people aren't. But it makes it so that no matter how many people are playing, the amount of time it takes to play the game is the same.
Significantly, like, whittled down from the original 12 hours plus.
So now with the RTCSS, how long does a typical game last?
So a game takes between 4 and 5 hours to play.
That's also including brand new starting reading the rules. The 4 hours.
I was going to add that
My bad.
part. It takes 4 to 5 hours to play the game. And it takes about an hour to learn how to play the game the first time.
Yeah.
And it takes about 15 minutes to set up the game if you know what you're doing.
Yep.
So that's the play time.
So not only have you guys created a system where you're playing at the same time, but you're not stuck sitting in a chair with your butt getting sore the whole time. Because I've never seen pictures or videos where there's not people standing. It's just too intense.
Yeah.
My favorite is when people get eliminated and they're still like hovering, just waiting for their arch nemesis to die.
They hang out anyway.
Yep.
You just have snacks in the background. They're just sitting there like, yeah, I got eliminated. He's going to get dead here real soon.
So I do want to say this. I'm going to say this. I'm not going to say who, but I'm going to say this because this was a moment of pure joy for me. Okay, we had a friend come from another state to play the game. And he said, I won't like the game because it's not the style of game that I like. And I said, that's fine. We just appreciate that you would sit down, play it, try it out. Let us know what you think. It's not your style of game. That's fine. Let us know what you think. He built his team, not a whole lot of, I don't think he put a lot of thought into it.
It was just, I want to get this over with.
Yeah,
Kind of
it was I want to see how it plays and get this over with because I'm supporting you guys, right? Which is fine.
Absolutely.
It's totally fine that he did that. So he put in, and he was the first one out. But it frustrated him that he got out first because by the time he got taken out of the game, he had started to enjoy the game. So he literally sat and watched the game play out and strategized how he was going to build his team for the next time he played. And I was like, okay, it's kind of a fun game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, and I think out of all of the test plays that we hosted, I don't know that anyone left the games early, even when they got out. They always stuck around to watch and see the outcome of the game. They were like invested in it, and it was really cool to watch.
Yeah.
So,
So,
yeah.
so Kickstarter is live. We're
It is.
excited to get it out to you guys.
It has been a long time coming. We've talked about this a lot, but it really has.
Yes.
Like, the joy that you guys will have because it's not going to be just being bored. That's some things that I kind of hate when we play a board game. I love playing board games. I'm sitting there like, all right, I already know what my turn's going to be, and then I fall into the addiction of Instagram, or I start doom scrolling, waiting for my turn.
Yeah.
Or, having conversations outside, planning my next week. I don't have to worry about that because this game will not let you do it. You'll be too busy.
Or you'll be dead.
Or he'll be dead.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We really just, I mean, I think it started with, I wanted to play a fun game.
Yeah.
You know? And it has become, I want to make sure that when someone else sits down to play the game, they have an enjoyable experience and they want to play it again. That's what this has become, you know, and I really do hope that after all of this time and effort that we have put into this, that when you guys sit down at the table and open that game for the first time, you enjoy it.
And that new game smell hits you. You're going to get so excited that, smell that plastic, that corrugated board.
I don't know. There's something about when you get a new game though, and like especially when you have like the cardboard cutouts and you get to punch all the pieces out and you get to assemble things, and it's just a lot of fun to just get it all set out and opened and
figure it out as the group.
Yes.
Too. Don't let someone sleep on you either. She kicks my butt at games on a regular basis. She's just being real quiet right now.
I just unstrategize.
Is that a thing?
Do I really look like someone who
It's
has a
thing for
plan?
me.
Okay.
I kind of feel like we need a whole episode on how do you unstrategize.
I mean,
Because, like, I don't
talk
know.
about we played a game one time where my strategy was to do everything possible to make it harder for you guys to win.
And who won that game?
Me.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Unintentionally.
Yeah.
She just became the agent of chaos on the board and won.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. Ian is giving us
The wrap-up
We
symbol.
gotta go. Thank you, Ian,
Much
for
appreciated.
that.
Yes, and thank you for letting me borrow the hoodie so I could be on theme. Mine is currently in the wash.
So we will be launching another video on Thursday.
Yes.
We're going to be talking about the Lorithian Guard.
Ooh. Get some history and some
Yeah.
lore and some
So-
shenanigans in the world. And...
So, alrighty. Well, thanks for hopping on. Those of you who
Absolutely.
did. And we will see you soon.
Don't forget to check out the Kickstarter. And then while you're here, like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. We appreciate that. It helps a lot because the more people see this, the better it gets.